practically experiencing the glimpses of Swami Vireshwaranandaji in Swami Harshanandaji. Because when I came to the Ramakrishna order, it was Swami Vireshwaranandaji. Later on I took Diksha from Swami Ranganathanandaji, but I find the glimpses of Swami Vireshwaranandaji in Swami Harshanandaji. The same level of intellectual acumen with the wisdom of our Sanatan culture. You are blessed to have a guiding spirit like Swami Harshanandaji here. My thanks goes to Banju Maharaj, who gave me all support, otherwise this coming would have not been possible. From day one, Maharaj has been too kind to me. And also my pranam goes to Jagannath Maharaj, who from Institute of Culture, Gold Park, Calcutta, gave me a glimpse of Bangalore Ramakrishna Math. My pranam to all other dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. Any address to the young students nowadays needs to be to bring India to them. Because for the last 67 years in the post-independence period, what has happened that we have taken our young boys outside India. Primarily, that and everyone bring India to the door of our young boys. When we say India, it's just not a terminology. It's a civilization which comes down to us from time immemorial. Now when we govern ourselves, the lives of our nation, two main personalities guide us. One is Machiavelli, the other is Marx. Are we aware that Machiavelli lived from 1469 to 1527? He lived for 58 years. The same time when Machiavelli lived in Europe, India gave birth to Sri Chaitanya. He lived from 1486 to 1534 for 48 years. When we take Machiavelli as an example of updated theoretician, we take Sri Chaitanya as backdated. And there lies our basic problem where we took India out of India. Again, from Machiavelli, when we came to Marx, Marx lived in Europe from 1818 to 1883. The same time when Marx was living in Europe, Sri Ramakrishna lived in India, 1836 to 1886. But Marx is updated to us. Sri Ramakrishna is backdated. The tragedy of India lies that we are always in conflict of our Bharatvarsha, and we are more interested to import India onto our Bharatvarsha. Machiavelli and Marx started with a doctrine of conflict and ended that conflict, ends with a conflict. Machiavelli told that politics should have a goal and that goal has to be reached. You should not be bothered about the means through which the goal has to be reached. Where Sri Chaitanya made a social movement to unify the Hindus from all castes they came. The same thing which happened in Marx, from his dialectical materialism, historical materialism, class and class struggle, state and revolution, withering away of the state. Can't you find the traces of withering away of the state when you say akhanda mandalakara vyaptam jara charachara? And that also starts with a notion of conflict. And Ramakrishna took us out from the notion of conflict. From the post-independence period, our area of research, our area of concentration has been the intellectuals of Europe. We started looking at India from the eyes of the Europeans. Seldom we looked at our own motherland from the eyes of our own ancestors, from the eyes of our own great souls, saints and seers. If we would have been so, India has a Shikshan Divas that is today. The education day is the day of Saraswati Puja that came down to us from the Vedic period. But after independence, we have a special education day, the birthday of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. We have a workers' day from age old, the day of Vishwakarma Puja. We re-implanted a new workers' day, that is May Day. We had a Guru Divas. We again re-implanted a new Teachers' Day. Now, with this, we generally tried from our birth as a new nation to rediscover India. India is not a salad ball. America is a salad ball. People from all over the world went to America and became Americans. India is never a salad ball. From the grand old days, India is an ancient nation. And we have all through tried to build this ancient nation as a salad ball. Our young boys are passing out from the universities. We have taught them all along that India is a nation which has been ruled by the foreigners for 1,000 years. Have we ever taught them that if the British can say with pride there is no break in their political history, India can say with pride there is no break in their religio-cultural history? The entire Europe got converted from Celtic Stoic to Christianity. Entire Iran got converted from Zoroastrianism to Islam. The entire world is world of converts or descendants of converts. Mother India absorbed the 1,000 years of foreign rule, but came out as Prahlada, believing in the same customs and traditions which India believed 10,000 years before. India has not compromised with the conquerors by giving up their own ancestral religion, which has been the case throughout the world. And that's why when you write a history from their own eyes, that is the eyes of the Europeans, they generally ask you to write a history where you fight the political imperialism and the economic imperialism. In the European dictionary, when you fight imperialism, there is only two, political and economic. First, they fight against political imperialism, then they fight against economic imperialism. The French Revolution and thereon the doctrine of Marx teaches these things. From Machiavelli to Marx is a journey to fight against political and economic dominance. In India, the concept of imperialism and fight against imperialism starts in a very different manner. First, a fight against cultural imperialism, then a fight against political imperialism, then a fight against economic imperialism. In Swami Vivekananda and his doctrine, we find this uniqueness that he absorbed these three different trends of our excellence. When we read the history, we find the Anglician Indians say that they are Muslim by culture. Vivekananda said that I am Vedantic by culture. The Anglicized Indians say they are British by education. Swami Vivekananda says, I am a Sanatani Hindu by education. The Anglicized Indians say that they are international in their views. Swami Vivekananda says that I am open. Hinduism is the united, unified cultural existence of our Aryan and Dravidian ancestors. The Maheshwara Shiva and the Linga Shiva march together. The Kurukshetra Krishna and the Gopala Krishna march together. The Durga and Kali march together. The Hindu religion is the religion of the unity of the Aryans and the Dravidians. Both of us has built this greatest civilization. The offerings, the prayers, the music come from the Dravidian cult. The slokas from the Vedas. When the entire North went to sleep for 1,000 years of foreign rule, the southern India remained the mother of our mother religion. It preserved our ancestral culture, and otherwise we would have lost our ancestral culture in the dark age of 1,000 years. Swami Vivekananda says, when the entire North went for a sleep, and when the northern foreigners tried to dominate our southern kingdoms, the Cholas, the Rashtrakutas, the Pandyans, the Vijayanagar Empire stood boldly for the protection of our ancestral faith. And when we say who is the father of our nation, it automatically comes that we got back our religion from Adi Sankaracharya. He is the natural father of this Hindu nation. All the preachers who came afterwards has tried to unite two things. One, the intellect of the Sankara and the heart of Chaitanya. The entire effort of Sri Ramakrishna has been so, that he tried to inject the Sanatana intellect of Adi Shankaracharya. The entire Ramakrishna order comes from the Puri Sampradaya, which hails from Karnataka, nearby Sringeri. And the heart of Chaitanya. Now we have to come out of this leverage and this pull from within to become Europeans. And there has been a conspiracy to divide us in the name of language and caste. There is a concept to divide us in the concept of caste being Brahmins and non-Brahmins in this manner. Put a heart and put your hand on your heart and ask yourself, our ancestors were both Brahmins and non-Brahmins. The Mahabharata says all the castes comes out from the Brahmins. Each caste has a Brahmin blood. The Chandala, the father is a non-Brahmin, the mother is a Brahmin. Now, this entire Gayatri mantra which we chant is written by a non-Brahmin. You use the title as a nomenclature of the caste. There was no traditional pattern in the Hindu system to use title. What was the title of Sri Krishna? What was the title of Bhima? What was the title of Arjuna? What was the title of Sri Ramachandra? They generally used no title. They were known as Pandava and Kaunteya together. The Indian system had no title. The Ramakrishna Math mission, sannyasis also don't write title. The full name of Swami Vivekananda is Swami Vivekananda Puri. Does he write Swami Vivekananda Puri? He writes Swami Vivekananda. So there is a plot to divide us, saying that the Sudras were always insulted. Do we know that the grand Maurya dynasty were the Shudra dynasty? Maurya has a queen known as Mura. And the Nandas were also Shudra dynasty. Nanda's queen Mura, and from there comes Maurya. Both the Nanda dynasty, the Maurya dynasties were Shudra dynasties. Ashok was a Sudra king. So how this idea came that the Shudras were always insulted, they were always backward, they were always illiterate, because the foreigners taught us in this manner. Vidura in Mahabharata, the Shudra prime minister, was known as the most literate prime minister. Dashiputra Vidura. Coming from the commoners, the very concept you say about parliamentary democracy, there are two houses, the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. In the Vedas, we have two chambers, the Sabha and the Samiti. The Samiti being for the commoners, the Sabha being for the elders. There is traces of parliamentary democracy also. If you go to ancient period, there are traces of voting also. You see, Vidura being the prime minister and Vishwa is saying the titular king Dhritarashtra that you run the kingdom on the advice of Vidura. Is it not the traces of parliamentary democracy? The tragedy is that we have always looked to our own history from the European eye. Now the question of nationalism. We say Vande Mataram. Tam hi Durga Dasha Praharana Dharini. What the Durga image, the image of Mother India sitting on lion, teaches us. Durga is the expression of Brahma Guna in us. Lion is the expression of Rajaguna in us. Ashur is the expression of Tamaguna in us. So if you come to serve this nation, first do sadhana to realize your Brahma Guna. As you realize your Brahma Guna, and you can dominate over your Rajaguna on the strength of your Brahma Guna, then only you will be able to serve this nation better. Now, if you want to be an engineer, you need training. If you want to be a doctor, you need training. If you want to be any professionals of your choice, you need training. The greatest tragedy is, if you want to serve this nation, you don't need a training. You can serve this nation as it is. Tomorrow morning, you wake up and find that I have no other job but to serve the nation, you start serving the nation. And what happened? That we have created a class of people who have served the nation in such a manner in the last 67 years that they have looted out as many amount of money out of India, which is more than the looters who looted for 1,000 years. The tragedy is that they have not started serving this nation, taking the dictums of our scriptures. That is, first training them through sadhana, the way to serve the nation, and then going to serve the nation. And there lies the lack of nationalism. If you take this country as your mother, you can't loot your mother. And if you take this country as many countries of the world and just waiting for a call from America, you just loot this mother and keep this money outside India. So where from this feeling will come? That's why we say, if you want to stay in India, you will have to have faith in Vande Mataram. If you want to stay in India, you will have to have faith in Janani Janma Bhuischa Sargavadapi Garyashi. If you want to stay in India, you have to faith in the Vausudhaiva Kutumbakam. If you want to stay in India, you have to faith on the Swadesh mantra of Swami Vivekananda. If you don't have that, we say very clearly what Swami Vivekananda says. Ma Kali will take offerings here. Shiv will play his damaru here. Krishna will play his float here. Those who think that it is impossible to bear, they have nations near. They can go there. But in this nation, we can't change our pattern of living. If I think that Ganga will flow inside my house, that will never happen. The Ganga has a course. In the same manner, this nation has a course. And the course of this nation has always been that we have taken religion as our backbone of this nation, the lifeline of our civilization. If you touch a Frenchman, Swamiji says, on politics, the Frenchman will react. If you touch an Englishman on economics, the Englishman will react. If you touch an Indian on religion, the Indian will react. And that has been the nature of our system. We can't change this nation for the anglicized Indians. And that has been so. That do we know when we say that the mighty Mughals, that the Maurjas were the greater king than the Mughals? Do we know when we say mighty Mughals that the Palas used to rule a larger kingdom than the Mughals? Are we aware of this? If we are not aware of this, this is the trick of the European